Hey, Shalom Akim. First foremost, give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rachak Kodash, the boners under the elders of Apostle Great Millstone, the elders Great Millstone, and of course, peace and blessings under the hopeful elect, the sincere servants of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, serving in truth and sincerity. Yes, on the brother Chayabah from ZMS Plain Tables Camp, come back with another lesson to Spirit. Yeah, so this lesson be based off this article from, it says BBC News, which is entitled, it says Trump's Golden Dome will cost $1.2 trillion and might not stop all-out missile attack. And then you can go deeper into this, this new dome that Trump wants to build. Yes, says, what is Trump's Golden Dome? On May 20, 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump announced plans for a new space-based missile defense system called the Golden Dome, intended to shield the United States from long-range and hypersonic missiles. The name alludes to Israel's Iron Dome, but the system is planned to be orders of magnitude broader in scope. Yeah, and obviously this is just more of the cruel Lord and fierce King of action. And ultimately, again, adding in, the false hope as if this place can be saved. Nothing that Esau can do, nothing that any president can do to stop what's predestined for Babylon the Great, of course, to go through. It says U.S. President Donald Trump's futuristic Golden Dome missile defense system will cost about $1.2 trillion to develop, deploy, and operate over 2 decades. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates that figure is significantly higher than the initial sum of $175 billion that has been earmarked. And the system designed to shield the U.S. against ballistic and cruise missiles might not even work. Then it says a new CBO report warned the Golden Dome could be vulnerable to a full-scale attack by Russia or China. Acquisition cost alone would be over $1 trillion, including for the interceptor layers and a space-based missile warning and tracking system, the fiscal scorekeeper said in a new report. See, so they're already doing what basically test to see whether or not it will be vulnerable by Russia and China, and already said it would. Again, showing you that you can't be prophecy. Scriptures say we can go through our revelation again how this place will be destroyed, and how they're gonna lament this place. Other nations are gonna lament this place when it's burning. So, nothing that Trump can do to stop it. Nothing that anybody can do to stop this place from its destruction. Let's get Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon hath bid and go the cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yes, so they drunk of this place. Her wine being in Babylon, obviously we know Babylon again is America. And this scripture is referring on to future Babylon, Babylon the Great, not ancient Babylon. No, this is referring on to modern day Babylon, which again is America. It says Babylon is suddenly falling. Yeah, ultimately the wine represents the philosophies and ways of America. We know Babylon is of course, the headquarter nation of Esau, which is a so-called white man. We know, again, but this is his main nation, America. Jeremiah 51:8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. Yeah, if so, she may be healed. It says, verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. See, because you can't heal this place. Trump can't, what is he talking about? Basically restoring the economy, putting these things in place. again, doing this and ultimately trying to save this place. You can't save this place, and you can't protect this place from its fate. It says Revelation 8 or 18 and 8. It says, therefore plagues come on one day, or slightly, therefore shall plagues come on one day, death and mourning and famine, and she should be utterly burned by fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. Meaning that this place will be burned by fire. Of course, we know the fire that's going to be used is from the nuclear fire that the Lord, of course, is putting the Spirit upon these other nations to use to completely destroy this place. That's why the Lord's putting the Spirit upon these other nations to build up their nuclear arsenal. So it's used on Babylon the Great. It says, verse 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Exactly. So the scriptures are already prophesying, man, what's going to happen. No golden dome, no dome system or missile defense system can save this place. No matter even if Trump puts in 1.2 trillion into it, it's still not going to stop the inevitable fate that, of course, it will taste, which is nuclear destruction. We just read right here, and everything that's within the scriptures will come to pass. So nothing that anybody can do to stop it. Why? Because it's a word of the Lord. You cannot override the word of the Lord. It says, Revelation 18 and 10, standing far off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment come. So there you have it. So 1 hour is thy judgment come. Because the place is going to be destroyed in just 1 hour with all the nuclear missiles that's going to be shot upon it. That Lord, again, is putting the Spirit upon these other nations to prepare. Hey, that's going to be it. Let's look up real quick. There's Joel chapter 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Exactly. So ultimately war is being prepared. It says, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Yeah, so ultimately again, the Lord is putting the Spirit upon the other nations to prepare war. That's why, again, you see, this missiles defense system being built. You're seeing, this nation is completely upgrading their nuclear arsenal. You're seeing this war happen, that war happen. Why? Because we're in the time of war. And especially the preparation for the Great War. The scriptures go into the third woe, which represents the Third World's War. That's the most anticipated, obviously one of the most anticipated things other than the MOTB, before Yahushua comes back. Other than the implementation of the MOTB. World War III is the next thing that, next anticipated thing that will happen. Nuclear destruction. Which Babylon the Great will be 100% destroyed. Again, which once again is this land, this country. America. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Yeah, the militaries again, but Lord's putting the Spirit upon these other nations to invest in their military, so that they obviously use it, so they're preparing war, and they're going to send the militaries, of course, or their the men of war, again to fight. We know the main place where this war is going to take is going to be obviously within the region of the Middle East. Verse 10, it says, be your plowshares and the swords and the prunings and the spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Yeah, so these other nations who were once known as weak before Babylon the Great, before America, now they're now being known, or obviously now they're strong. That's why America's obviously has been struggling against Iran. So how much more Russia and China? It's not like it's a few couple decades ago where these nations were, or of course, weren't at where they are now. No, again, the Lord's put the Spirit upon these other nations to completely overhaul their military force. So I believe it's a point. You can Lord's where I leave the link to the article in the description, but again, you can't stop what's prophesied for this place and what's to come. So Lord's where you brothers out there edified. Yahweh Bashim Yahshai Bashim Kakurash Prakathum. Shalom.